So choosing the wrong domain extension. So what do I mean when I say the domain extension? The domain extension is generally the 2 or 3 letters after the period in a domain name. So, for example, .com, .net, or .org, or a country extension like .us for the United States. Now, not all domain extensions are created equal. Some are called top-level domains. So that's the .com, .net, and .org, and these can be used all over the world. Now, there are some others that are being considered as top-level domains, and there's a lot of extensions being added in the last few years, and I'll mention these briefly in a bit. So how important is a domain extension? Well, if you've been in business any time at all, you may have heard the expression location, location, location. So when you have a physical brick and mortar business, you want your business where there's lots of traffic. So let me give you an example of this. There's a strip mall that's located near Hobby Lobby, but it's not on the beaten track. It's in kind of an alley almost. And I've watched stores come and go in this little strip mall for about the last 7 years, and pretty much the only ones that have survived are specialty stores that are destination stores where there may be only 1 or 2 in the city, so everybody has to go to these specialty stores. For example, a trophy store and one that makes things for the military base people like guidons and flags and stuff. So if you have a specialty store where people are coming to you, then that's a different thing than location, location, location. So what does this have to do with domain names? Well, in terms of domain names, .com is the main street for business. So if somebody sees a domain name with .com, they automatically associate this as a business domain name. So I mentioned there are a lot of different extensions. So you're probably going to want to research your niche or your industry, and if the industry is trending to one of these new extensions, it may make sense for you to use a specialized domain extension. So for example, in the tech industry, they are trending towards the IO domain name extension, and especially for software businesses. And the IO is actually a country name extension that the tech industry has adopted as a default standard, it appears. Now, .net was designed for internet networking and email service providers, but it hasn't really turned out this way. A lot of these are still getting the .com extension, and then some people use the .net for their email service for their company, and I've done that myself. So I've also used it for small blogs when the .com wasn't available. Now, the .org is the main street for nonprofits, and when I bought my first domain name, I didn't understand this, and the .com and the .net wasn't available, but I wanted that domain name, so I bought the .org, and it did cause just a teeny bit of confusion over the years that I had that as my domain email, and I later changed it to a .net domain email. So over the years, I've used the .net, .com, .org, .biz, which is another extension, and multiple other ones. So you have to research your industry and your business and determine, which one is going to be best for you. So there's no right or wrong here. It's just there's guidelines that may or may not apply depending on your situation. So I hope that's helpful.